Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Prosecutor said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
An FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertainers. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertainers. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertainers.
Everybody, and welcome to another episode of NewsBrief. Today is October 21st. It is 12:13 p.m. We are about 30 minutes late, and I am joined by my glorious co-host, Patty. What's up, Patty?
Yo.
What up? I want to cover a couple things today. First off, if you hear meowing in the background, I had a stray cat. I was literally leaving the house, and I had a stray kitten. I'm talking about like he's this tiny. I hate that I love animals. I just look at him and I'm like, damn it, I got to do something.
No, you shouldn't talk about Reno that way. He's a human being.
I pick up strays.
I mean, come on. Yeah. Well, what happened?
Yeah. Well, Patty, you're here. And so is Rob. Everybody's a stray here. But I was out the door, and usually I'll be like, there's like a million cats outside my house, so I really don't bother. But this one was a kitten, his eyes were closed. So now after the show, I got to bottle feed him. And I think you got somewhere to be. So we're gonna try to cut it right at the hour. You got something to do, which is surprising because don't you live in an apartment?
Yeah, but I have a massive lawn and I have to mow it.
But is it a community lawn?
No, it's mine. It's like a property. Like we're sort of the property managers here. So yeah.
So nobody in the building is able to use that lawn.
Well, it's a 2-family house. There's just me and my wife and the couple.
Oh, it's one of those that it's like the long shit with the stoop.
Oh, it's like a regular house, man, but it's just got a massive side yard. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And there's only 4 people living in this whole house. It's me and my wife and the lady downstairs and her, boyfriend. And so, yeah, that's, I do all the gardening and the lawn maintenance just because I like to mow the lawn, man. You don't like to mow the lawn?
I don't like to mow the lawn. For a long time, I'm from Miami, and lawns, I guess in Boston it's different, but Florida, when you have a lawn, you're mowing that bitch very, very often because the grass grows.
Shitload of rain. Yeah.
I was gonna say the gas grows. Let me see if I pull. I don't have anything to pull up on this. I'm gonna just pull this up on the green room just so I have a browser open. So let's start with this. Let's start with the obvious, the No Kings thing that happened this weekend.
Yeah.
We reported from multiple locations, including Boston and your hometown, Boston and Miami. Me and Barry did a brief recap of what it looked like in Miami. And I don't know if you were, I know that you were part of the stream in the beginning and then you had to roll out. But so I don't know if you caught it. It was a pretty big crowd for Miami standards, and I think it was a pretty big crowd Anybody who says that it wasn't a big crowd across the country, come on, let's
Yeah, no, it was
say it
massive,
was.
massive. Yeah, yeah.
The problem is like they couldn't mobilize those. I'm guessing everybody there voted for Kamala Harris for the most part, but they couldn't mobilize those voters last year, almost a year ago.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and I think we saw Donald Trump post an AI video of shitting on Harry Sisson. I don't know if you saw that with the Jets.
Yeah, I did
And,
see it. Yeah, yeah.
and Scott Jennings did do.
A poor job of defending it. Yeah.
No, he actually did a great job defending it because they said, "Well, what's up?" Because they wanted to talk about this AI video, and he's like, "Yeah, it's a fake. It's an obviously fake video. Donald Trump is not getting on an F-16."
Yeah, and I think the point of the argument is that if Barack Obama had done something like that, it would be a scandal where we would have to explain to the children and all this other shit. I mean, the guy wore a tan suit and people got pissed off. This guy can put out videos of shitting on protesters and
I mean,
on
it's a
New York
new
City, and that's
world.
okay. Well,
We're-
no,
we're-
but
we're-
I just I don't know. I'm not going to
We're
accept that.
seeing our politicians actually be more in line with the populace of the United
Okay, so from now on, Democrats get to do that kind of shit.
They
except
could.
that
They won't be
allowed to
good
do
at
that
it.
kind of shit.
They will.
Well,
They won't be good at it.
if they
Listen.
listen to
I
me,
laugh.
then they would be good at it, but they won't because that's the nature of the Democratic Party. But what I'm saying is, he gets to do shit, and everybody gets to make excuses for him. And if Barack Obama or any recent American Democratic president did that, we all
They
know
got
what
to
would
stick
happen.
so far up their ass, Patty, and they're
Well, yeah,
just, they don't understand. That's why we've won. It's comedy. It's these fake AI videos. But here's what Scott Jennings said, because they were trying to trash him on the fake AI video. It's a fake AI video that's a response to a fake protest, right? Because it is a
it's
fake.
not a fake protest. I was there. It's not fake, man.
It's
No.
a fake protest. It's no
Show
king.
show the photos that I took, man. I'm telling you, these
No,
people were serious.
Listen, I get no. I'm 100% with you that they were serious, but it is a fake protest. There is no kings in the United States. Donald Trump is not acting like a king. As a matter of fact, like
Well,
everything that
explain
he's
Steve Bannon's position that he's going to get a third term, and I
He's
want to look.
that's shit posting. That's shit
Oh,
posting.
really,
It's
really?
to get you to do exactly what you just did.
Well, what I'm saying is that we need to take it seriously because we need to take it seriously.
We
Man.
need to take Jets throwing shit on a crowd of no kings.
No,
protesters.
not the AI video. I'm saying Steve Bannon talking about having some sort of legal team that's going to get him a third term. We do need to take that seriously because you don't if you don't take it seriously, you have no excuse after you get punched in the face. If I think that maybe there's a 10% chance that you might throw a punch at me, I better be ready to handle it, right?
I mean, isn't a third term of Donald Trump if like if we elect JD Vance, wouldn't that be a third term with Donald Trump? You're going to get exactly what.
No, here's the thing. I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I want the MAGA supporters to understand where I'm coming from with this. So I'm going to explain this as carefully as I can. I thought, what's the worst case scenario, right? As a liberal, as a Democrat, what's the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario would be that Trump decided to pass the baton to somebody that MAGA could get behind, right? Now,
JD
I know, and you know that JD Vance is not that guy.
I
Right?
think he is. I think he's.
I mean, seriously, man, you don't believe that.
I think
No
he
way.
probably would be more effective at
Okay.
policy than the
Yeah,
president,
but
which
but
makes
Trump
him more
doesn't care about
dangerous.
that kind of shit. Trump doesn't care about that kind of shit. What he cares about is the bluster and whatnot, and his own ego. What I think he's looking for is somebody who would be just as crazy as he is. And Vance isn't that, and Vance is not charismatic. Vance has no charisma.
I think he does. I think he
Okay.
does, and I
Well,
think
I don't think you think that, but
no, I really do think that. I think he is charismatic. I think he's funny. I think
yeah.
like people were touting, back in
He's
2018.
not funny, man.
They were saying Don Jr., right?
Yeah. Well,
I don't think Don Jr. would be like my
no, and that's not it. Like, so in my experience going to, I remember the America First, Nick Fuentes' rally I went to with Pickles a couple of years ago. they actually, a bunch of people said they were saying Barron Trump. The kid was like 17 at the time or 19, and that's what they're fired up about. They want somebody who they think is as charismatic as Trump. And as much as I dislike Trump, he is charismatic. I mean, there's no doubt about that, right?
Yeah.
So what they're looking for, they wouldn't get fired up for Mike Pence before January 6th. I'm saying, like, if he had run for the next term. They
Well,
don't.
he was boring.
They're not going to get. Yeah, he is boring, and so is JD Vance, boring
I
and
think
just
I think you're gonna
horrible.
I think you're gonna eat your shoe on that one. I think
Well, you know what?
one-
I will eat my shoe if Trump passes the baton, because the worst case scenario is he does that to somebody like, I don't know, Matt Gaetz, or somebody that would actually get the right wing fired up. And there's a
Tulsi
few
Gabbard.
other people. Yeah, maybe no. Well, they won't. They won't
You'd
vote
probably
for a woman.
support that ticket though.
They won't vote for a woman no matter what. But what I'm saying is, the worst case scenario is that he actually finds somebody to pass the baton to. But I think what he will do, and this is the best case scenario for us, is that he's like, I don't give a fuck. After me, you can all kiss my ass, because he's so much of an egomaniac that he will not pass the
Well,
baton. He'll
let me-
just
let
be
me-
like, yeah, kiss my ass, fuck it,
Wait,
I'm gonna
Patty,
die.
but let me use your measuring stick there. Let's give you the egomaniac thing, right?
Okay.
Wouldn't he want his legacy to continue on? And that's like the biggest stroke.
No, because real
somebody would have.
narcissists don't care about what happens after they die.
I think. Listen, JD Vance is going to be the front runner. I think we're coming into presidential primary season here shortly.
Never going to endorse somebody after him. Never.
He's gonna endorse JD Vance. I'm 100%.
You know what? I'll bet you $1.
Let's go.
Okay,
I'll take another
$1
$1 from you. I have your listing
you got-
here. You're gonna owe me like a solid $5 by the end of this.
I've
term.
already paid you. I paid you $1 in Venmo.
So I think it was Cash App or something. But whatever. The fact remains. The No Kings protest. It's the people there. Okay, they're not fake. They're real people with fake concerns. And it was a fake rally. There's
Not a fake rally. People are legit.
Look, democracy,
How do you define fake rally?
I'm going to use the terms of the left. Democracy won in November of last year, right?
Yes.
He won the popular vote. He won all the swing states, everything against what the whole mainstream was saying.
He won fair and square.
And he's doing exactly what he says.
No, it's not the way he won. It's the behavior after he won. That's not what we're not saying he won illegitimately. He did win legitimately.
Well, some people were saying some crazy shit.
Okay, well, that's, some people say a lot of crazy shit. But what I'm saying is he did win legitimately.
Your side is known for saying crazier shit than us.
Really? I mean, have you watched my show? No, I know the answer to that. You don't watch my show. But what I'm saying is I can give you examples of people saying unbelievably insane shit. Like, I've been to so many rallies you know this, from San Francisco to Miami to Texas to New York. I've been all over the country, and I've interviewed so many MAGA supporters who have told me the most insane fucking things that I've ever heard in my life. And I've never heard that kind of crazy shit.
Did you get to attend the No Kings rally on Saturday?
Yes, I did. I was there on Saturday. And why don't you post? I think we can look at my Twitter feed.
I have your Twitter feed pulled up. Hold on.
Yeah.
Share this screen instead. Let's add to scene. And I think I'm just scrolling through. I don't think I clicked. Yeah, I did click the post.
Unfortunately, that was a fire outside my house.
Oh wait, what just happened? Patty.
I don't know. Yeah.
Let me minimize just a little bit so I can see, and then I'll zoom.
Yeah, so just down a little bit, you'll see
October 20th.
Yeah, so that's the crowd. That's a 360 video of the crowd.
Wow, the bottom. I think that's down there on the sidewalk. Isn't that Rob?
No, I didn't run into Rob.
You didn't run into Rob. Okay,
I didn't. But Yeah, you can see, there's a shitload of people. I think the signs were actually a lot funnier than any signs that I've seen at you know. Well, that was not funny, but I thought you
Let me
guys would be
let me full
interested
screen
in it.
this. I'm sorry. I thought people were
Yeah,
able to see it.
tell me,
Um,
boys, are you still proud? Yeah,
yeah,
I don't,
we are.
I don't really get that one, but I figured you guys, witches against wickedness, which was dumb, but it's kind of funny. Um, but if you scroll down, I think the one I like best is the one on the bottom left.
This one.
Yeah,
Just
just
skip
skip to the bunker scene.
Lucas.
I
Okay,
told the guy, I said, "Hey, man, I don't think most people are gonna get that, but
I
it is really funny."
I
Like,
got it. Yeah, I was.
yeah.
It's all right. It's good. It's good. See, like I could say, hey, look,
Oh,
somebody
and the
said,
bottom right is good too. Like, I don't, I I like dick. I like taters, not dictators. Come on. I mean, that's clever. I
whatever.
got a kick out of
There's
it.
a guy that had a sign that said he was on this, and actually we're gonna recreate the T-shirt. The T-shirt said something along the lines of "You miss me, bitch," and it has like a crosshair on Donald Trump's like ear, and then he's holding a sign. It says "Deport gay retards," and I
Was
thought that was.
was Barry pissed off about that? I would imagine he would be.
So me and Barry had a great time. Obviously, I got to pull up. I'll pull it up in a second. No, you know what? I don't got to pull it up. I could just talk about it. So, as we were at the event, the police pulled us to the side, and it's like, "Hey, we got another side across the street for protesters." And I'm like, "I'm not here protesting. I'm here covering the event. These people are out here screaming at me, which is okay." Um, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not moving or whatever." And there was a guy that walked by, and I thought he was a friendly. He's like, "Hey, it's you." I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He goes, and then he has this kid in his hand. And he's like, "That's the bad guy." He's pointing at me, and he's telling his kid, "That's the bad guy." And the kid's like
Oh,
3 or 4 years old.
yeah, I think
Um,
that's probably not a good idea.
so the Miami Herald was there, and I guess caught that, and they made this awesome. They always compare us to like cool characters, right? If they're trying to make us look bad, they're doing a very, very bad job. So they compared me to Tony Montana, right? They're like, "Oh, there goes the bad guy, Miami Cuban bad guy, or
Who's like a
whatever."
hero in the Cuban community as far he's a fictional character, but
He's a fictional character, and they do this whole article, and they got these really cool pictures, and like every article, and that's one of the reasons I go. Every article that had something to do with the Miami No Kings rally was me and Barry up in the front. It had to go Enrique Tario or the Proud Boys attend um, the No Kings rally, and we actually had a leftist, I guess, leftist publisher write something along the lines of Trump has it so bad that even Enrique Tario is joining in on the No Kings protests. And they like misquoted me on purpose. They're like, "Oh, well, he was there for No Kings," which I was.
yeah.
It's
It's obviously disingenuous the way that they
yeah.
presented it, but
And they keep doing it. And just recently, yesterday, Gavin had sent me a video. He was watching the Martin Scorsese documentary on Apple TV,
yeah.
and there was the coolest. I think one of the coolest mentions of the Proud Boys that I've ever seen in my life. Um, he's talking about the filming of the Gangs of New York, and then he's explaining the plot to it. And he's like, "Oh, these people," and they were called the Know Nothings. Like in real
Yeah,
life,
yeah.
they were called
Yeah.
the Know Nothings.
Yep.
And it's funny because a couple like on Sunday I posted, I think Sunday or Monday I posted like beware of foreign influence. I just every once in a while something comes to head and I just tweet it out. Well, the next day, Gavin sends me this video and it's Scorsese explaining, what the Know Nothings were. They didn't want fucking immigrants. They didn't want you
Yeah.
people, you
Yes.
people.
Specifically my people.
Yeah, they didn't want you people to come in, and they were calling him mix and all that. And he's like, "Well, the Know Nothings and Bill the Butcher are the modern day Proud Boys." Um, uh,
It's an interesting comparison.
So nobody gave a fuck about DiCaprio's character in that movie, right? He
No.
probably has the shittiest character, like main character energy in that movie. The real main character of the movie is
It's
Bill
Bill
the
Cutting.
Butcher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Bill Cutting. Yeah, yeah.
So
Who's
and
a
he was
real
a
person.
real
He's
person.
a real
Yes.
person. Yeah.
He was a real person. And I found it super flattering. So me and Gavin I instantly call him. Me and Gavin were talking and we're like, what are they going to do next? They're going to I'm waiting for I'm a Star Wars head. Are they going to go ahead and compare us to Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Right. I think that would be the coolest thing. Cause actually, if you look at the Star Wars flicks, Luke Skywalker was pretty much a pussy in the movie. He was always crying about something. Oh, my dad, my father, no. And can you get characters that are people don't like? Give me a character in a movie that's really unlikable. What's his name from Game of Thrones? Joffrey.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Hold on. I got Barry calling me. Barry, you're late. I'm on live. All right, I'm live. Let me call you back. I'm not leaving. I'm not going. All right, bye. I thought he was going to say something cool and put him on speaker, but no, he's just calling to say he's late. So compare us to Joffrey, King Joffrey or some shit.
Right.
Give us if you really want to tear down the movement, stop using cool characters.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, Bill the Butcher is a cool character in that film because it's Daniel Day-Lewis, and he's always a cool character, right? So everybody likes Daniel Day-Lewis, even though he's almost always a motherfucker. I mean, when you look at There Will Be Blood, one of my favorite movies.
That's great.
I mean, he is a complete bastard, but you almost root for him anyway because he's so good. If you look at films where he is legitimately the good guy, like The Boxer, a really old, IRA film from the late 80s, early 90s, he's still your hero, but he's almost cooler when he's a bad guy. We root for Jack Nicholson when he's a bad guy. So there are certain people who are charismatic enough to make the role almost irrelevant. It's just how they are and what they do. And you're right that even though DiCaprio is the hero in that film, he's not the guy that we're really rooting for. I was rooting for Bill Cutting in that film, even though he's the son of a bitch and he represents everything I don't like.
Let me go ahead and let me play it.
Yeah,
let me full screen it first.
The Irish had to fight for the. I'm going to teach you to speak English with this fucking knife. I come from an immigrant group. I learned more and more about the welcome that the immigrants received. Go back to Ireland, you dumb mitt. Starting with the Irish.
That's me throwing a potato at Patty.
The Irish learned how to handle all this. They don't.
Did AI that?
But they had to fight back. Fighting against the know-nothings and the wide-awakes, which are names like now Big Proud Boys. The Irish had to fight for their place.
Look, I got to say, the fact that you managed to get Martin Scorsese to say Proud Boys is pretty fucking. That's a lot cooler than getting Trump to say it.
I probably would agree with you there. I don't know in what I got to watch the whole thing. I don't know in what context. I don't know if he was trying to be demeaning to us.
Oh, I think I mean, look, he's as close with De Niro as you can possibly get, and he hates you guys. So,
but what's weird to me is he's a Catholic, right? He did and he did this special for Fox News. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called The Saints.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It's really, really good. It's about it's about the saints. Really well directed. Portrayed John the Baptist fucking in the coolest form that you could ever put John the Baptist in on film.
This was a pretty impressive figure, man. He's one of my favorite biblical characters, and I'm a biblical guy. So
yeah,
You know.
So, yeah, I know that you're a super biblical guy.
No, seriously, I'm not kidding.
Aren't you
I
an
read-
atheist?
Yeah, I'm an atheist, but I read the Bible every day.
I'd like to see the comments on this. Can you guys please, if you're watching this, please comment on
No,
him
it's funny
being an
because
atheist?
yesterday I was on Kim's show for a minute with Dave Summerall, who's an
Mhm.
awesome guy and a friend of mine, and who had been on my show. And Dave and I have discussed the Bible a lot, and he recommended that I reread Proverbs 31, and I was talking about how I was halfway through rereading the Gospel of Mark. I'm like halfway at this
Mhm.
point.
Mhm.
And no, seriously, my father was a religion teacher at the Catholic high school that I went to. I'm an atheist, but I'm fascinated by the Bible, and I've read it back to front several times. And I'm more biblically literate than just about every Christian you're going to run across today. You know what I mean? So it's
I mean, Proverbs, even, I'll tell you, look, I don't understand you when you read like Mark or Matthew or anything in the New or Old Testament for the most part, except like
sure.
Proverbs, you could look through it. Like if you were to erase all knowledge of the Bible,
Yes.
modern in a different dimension, obviously, and just put Proverbs as a book on its own,
Yeah.
right? Like it's actually just like it was written, 2,000 years ago, almost 2,000 years ago.
Well,
Wait, no,
a
more.
lot longer than
No, a
that.
lot
A lot
longer than
longer
that.
than
Yes,
that.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So it gives you like issues like with real. It gives you solutions to real world problems, or it gives you
Sure.
advice.
Sure.
So, but I don't understand the Mark thing. I don't get how an atheist like reads this. It's not like reading for you. It's not like reading Lord of the Rings,
No,
right?
no, not at all. I think that first of all, we have to understand the gospels are all drastically different, right? So Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Mark being the first one that
Yeah.
was written, right? Mark was written about 70 AD, which means it was written about 40 years after the death of Jesus. And Mark doesn't have any kind of birth story about Jesus Christ. It just starts with his ministry. There's no virgin birth. There's no Joseph. There's no mention of anything that happened before he was about 30 years old. And at the end of it, there is no resurrection story. They just go to the tomb. The women go to the tomb, and it's empty.
Mhm.
That ends. So it's really different than Matthew, Luke and John. It's very different, and a lot of the things that are in Mark are contradictory to what actually happens in Matthew, Luke, and John.
Mhm.
So to understand the gospel is to read all of them and see the contradictions. But I think it's a
I thought
great
I'd
story,
never
man.
I thought I'd never see the day where an atheist is going
No,
ahead
look, my
and
father's a theologian. I grew up with this stuff. You know what I mean? So it's not like there are very few evangelical Christians who are going to know more about the Bible than I do,
Mhm.
and I don't mind having the discussion. So because I'm interested in it. It doesn't matter whether I believe it or not. Like it has shaped our entire society, right? So
Mhm.
if you want to ignore it, you ignore it at your own peril. Like, I mean, if I don't understand Christianity, I can't possibly understand America.
um, back to this Scorsese thing and Catholicism. Um, he did like this special was for Fox News. There might be I don't know if I haven't looked into Martin Scorsese's like political views, but there might be. Um, where did that 5 come from on the comments? Was that
So
you?
Reno asked how many Deuteronical books are there, and there are 5. And so apparently everybody's responding 5. I
No,
did
no, that's
one.
us. That's like
Yeah.
somebody typed in
So the
5.
one for me, I typed 5.
Oh,
Like,
okay, okay. Oh, okay. So you were the one that put it in the comments.
yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Okay. So granted that, regardless, I think that there might be a right winger in him in Hollywood. He's going through Fox News. I'm gonna actually subscribe. Apple TV is expensive as shit for being what it is.
I think I got a year of it because we bought something.
Yeah, you bought like an iPhone or a MacBook. You
Yeah, I
get,
know.
but it's like $30 a month. It's wild. But
There's not too much that's good on it either. But
no, there's not. There's just a couple things that are on there that I'm currently watching Lioness on Paramount, which is
Yeah.
an amazing show.
it's good. It's good. I
Yeah.
like it. Are
It's-
you on the first or second season?
I'm on the last episode of the first season.
Okay, yeah. Second season's awesome too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love.
Nicole Kidman's face is not.
Oh, dude, you
anymore.
just keep looking at it. It's like a car wreck.
No,
you know,
it's fucking
she
ridiculous.
looks good. She looks like herself in the pictures of the
Yeah, but then
titles.
and she
You
moves.
see her, it's like
Yeah, no.
it's like she has a mask on, which
No,
she kind of does.
She does have a mask on.
Yeah,
She looks like fucking. She's got Mar-a-Lago face like Luma.
Mar-a-Lago face. Fuck off. Which might be a little true. I've been to Mar-a-Lago. Okay, so let me dig into another story because we're at the 30-minute mark, 35-minute mark, and I want to jump here really quick to a sentencing, and then another story about another legal story. Let me put these in order and switch tab, share this tab instead, and staffer for Chris Christie.
Couple of handsome fellows right there.
Which I find a former aide to Governor Chris Christie is sentenced to 10 years, 10 whole years in state prison, not for kiddie porn, but for engaging in sex with a 6-year-old. Okay. What's another word for engaging in sex with a 6-year-old? It's called rape.
Fucking rape, yeah.
Okay. So, David Wildstein, I think, is a New York Jersey Globe reporter. And obviously, readers had added some context through the community notes. A 6-year-old cannot have sex because they cannot consent. They are raped. Right. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know if he was just typing it up or did this on purpose with engaging in sex. But regardless of the fact that it's 10 years, right?
Yeah, no.
10 years is a sentence for somebody that like raped a 6-year-old.
It's unacceptable. Although you do know that from experience when guys get sent and they're they're pederast, like he's probably not going to live very long in prison.
Yeah. No, well, that depends on where they
that's
send
not a
him.
justification for
Yeah, I get it.
only 10 years. You know what I mean? No, they
But
should
I get what you're
they
saying.
should
there,
get life for that, man.
but-
Like, I mean,
But the prison system is now geared towards protecting these individuals.
I can't understand why the fuck that is. Like the fact that that should be offensive to everybody.
They put them, so the BOP in some cases have like this, it has this policy where they have these things called dropout yards, and dropout yards are for pedophiles and all sorts of like weird people that can't get along with the in Gen Pop. They put you through a regular prison just because they need to they can't automatically put you in that classification, even if you're a pedophile. So they make you take your licks. They'll send you to a regular prison, send you out on the yard. You either get stabbed or get your ass beaten until you get a helicopter evac out of the site, which is usually what happens. And then they put you in a prison with a whole bunch of other pedophiles. And they're protected because the people that assault pedophiles in there are charged. They're not just sanctioned. They're not just put in the shoe. The U.S. Attorney's Office will charge you with a hate crime, right? Which is crazy to me that they're protected, but like my individual liberties as a conservative are not. I got
Just as a
12
human. I mean,
more
it's not-
years. I got 12 more years than this person. I know your thoughts on it, and I think most of the people watching know that you're against what happened, the weaponization of the federal government when it came to most J6ers.
Except for you, I kind of liked it when they did it.
Yeah, I actually, to be honest with you, I kind of liked it too. I said, well, you got to give me 22 years. You're going to wake up a lot of people, which is what happened. Which brings me to my next story that's similar to this. Let me go ahead and bring this up. There was a recent, before I bring it up, there was a recent arrest. I think he was arrested either today or yesterday of a J6er at a very bad timing too. And if you're a J6er, this is something that you don't do, right? I don't shit on my J6ers, but this is something I could tell you that it shouldn't be done, right? And he's gonna have his day in court. But let me bring it up and I'll read the headline here in a second. Pardoned Capitol rioter arrested for allegedly threatening to murder Hakeem Jeffries. Now, I haven't dug into this story because it just came down, but it looks like he did do the thing that they accused.
There's video of him doing it. Yeah.
Is it a video or is it a post?
Yeah, there's video.
So I'm going to read these first three little paragraphs. A pardoned Capitol rioter has been arrested for allegedly threatening to kill House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries while he spoke at a New York event. Christopher
Moynihan,
34, allegedly said in a text he would eliminate the Brooklyn Democrat during his Monday speech at the Economic Club of New York, according to court filings seen by CBS News. Hakeem Jeffries, I'm guessing quoting him, Hakeem Jeffries makes a speech in a few days in NYC. I cannot allow this terrorist to live. Moynihan, right? Moynihan, who was pardoned 9 months ago by President Trump, allegedly wrote in the message. So I'm guessing it's a message.
Yeah, but there's video of him getting arrested. He's talking. I don't know if it's here, but
so he was. I'm guessing it's not a federal case. It's New York State Police, but they were working with FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force. He was arraigned in local court in Clinton, New York, and remanded to the Dutchess County Justice and Transition Center in lieu of a $10,000 cash bail, a $30,000 bond, or an $80,000 partially secured bond, state trooper said in a statement. Now, look, do I agree in a way with him that this guy is terrorizing? I wouldn't say terrorist. He's terrorizing America, yes. But that's my political.
Talking about he's not in charge of shit.
Well, he's not running shit, I'll tell you that. But regardless,
right.
he is an elected official, unfortunately.
Hakeem Jeffries is about as consequential in the United States government as I am. Hakeem Jeffries, I've talked about this recently, as recently as this morning with my wife, how much of a stuffed fucking shirt, empty suit, useless ass that this guy is, right? Hakeem Jeffries is of no consequence to anybody. The idea that somebody would want to kill him, I mean, for what?
Well, I don't. So for clarity, I don't support his fucking message of fucking killing him, and maybe he was rightfully arrested. And as Reno brings up, we saw at the No Kings protests, like people saying some crazy shit, and none of them are getting arrested.
Yeah, that's fine. Look, people who threaten violence should be arrested, and I'm fine with that. But I'm just saying, like the idea of getting pissed at Hakeem Jeffries for what? For doing nothing? Like, I mean, seriously, if I were a Republican, I would be not even slightly concerned with Hakeem Jeffries doing anything consequential because the guy's a fucking like he's a nothing. He's not even he doesn't
like the way to win is sombrero memes, right? I think Hakeem Jeffries is probably more pissed at the fact of the sombrero memes than he did with this. So I don't know if it was.
I think you're right.
I don't know if he took action towards this threat. I don't know if he bought ammo or had plans, like detailed plans. I don't know, but two things can be correct at the same time, and they could exist in the same world. I think the New York State took advantage and took this guy in because he was a J6er. But at the same time, he's the one that gave them the ammo to be able to do that. Right.
Yeah. Can I just give some advice to J6ers just
Go ahead.
from a liberal, right? Look, don't fuck around. Because every single time one of you gets arrested and ends up back in the joint, you make yourselves out to be a bunch of what a lot of liberals already think you are. So don't give them that. Like, just stay the fuck out of it. You can protest, you can do, but man, don't commit crimes. Don't fuck it. I mean, how many people have been rearrested? Not because of what they did on January 6th, but because
I'm
they
one.
did wild ass shit. Well, yeah,
Wrongfully.
man, I was there that
someone.
day. She was throwing that thing in your face. I don't blame you for slapping the phone. But I'm just saying, like, just fuck off, man. Don't
and
get yourself rearrested, man.
it
It's
comes at
easy to stay out of jail. It really is.
it comes at a bad time too, because you got to think of others, right? So, like, I'll give you the example. Like, obviously, we're fighting to get the pardons for Joe and
Yeah.
Ethan and like 12 total people, right? And they're oath keepers and proud boys. And then something like this does not make it easier for anybody to get their life back in order. Also, there's like lawsuits and tort claims that are obviously in the mix right now to help people get there. Like, can you imagine? Check this out. Can you imagine the arsenal? And I say it obviously not in the way that firearms or anything, but the arsenal that the war chest, that's a better term. The war chest that J6ers can accumulate if they start winning these lawsuits or these tort claims. Like, it'll be a very, very powerful movement if you're able to monetize that movement and be able to, like, how many J6ers right now would get, like, let's just say $1 million, right? Let's say that it's $1 million each, would be $1.6 billion of taxpayer money. But you imagine what almost every J6er would do. They would start some type of political movement or a PAC, or they would do something. And that would be more powerful and more long lasting than a message that says, I'm going to off Hakeem Jeffries. You could do more for the future if monetarily you're able to make a difference. So look, to the J6ers that are watching this, take Patty's advice to heart. It's true. Like, we
don't fuck yourself up, man. Don't
eyes on. Like, now every time we bring up J6 and we have like these valid arguments, then they're just going to bring this guy up and be like, well, look, he pardoned this guy. There's 1,600 of us, and I don't expect like every single person in there to be a good person. But I expect them to understand what the consequences are. And this is what the consequences are. You're under a microscope. Maybe he said it in a time of weakness where he was angry. Maybe he didn't take any action. Again, I haven't dug into this. Maybe he didn't take any action. He was just talking shit. He was angry, rightfully angry, but wrong attitude to have. But these consequences, now he's going to, this gentleman that probably like could have done so much good is going to be taken out of play for another 2 years, 3 years, because that's usually what they give you in these cases. So let's please focus in doing as much good as we could. There's another, I want to talk about, let me bring this up on the screen. So some endorsements are great to have. I've seen this argument. I don't know how you feel about Thomas Massey. But like, there seems to be like this divide between Thomas Massey and Trump supporters. In some cases, I'm not anti-Massey. I'm not going to tell you I'm pro-Massey. I don't care. I don't care enough. If he says something I agree with it, I'll agree with it. If he just he says something I disagree with, then by all means, I'll take it. But he got an endorsement the other day, and he was actually proud of it, and he touted it. Let me go ahead and put this shit on the screen. This fucking shit endorsement. So just so you guys know who Jack is, Jack is Jack Dorsey, ex owner of Twitter, and a person that could is in pretty much was probably like the main advocate for censorship on the internet during the time. Has he changed his tune on it and he said he's fucked up? I think that's virtue. I don't think that's honest of him. I think he enjoys what he did. He in his podcast with Joe Rogan, where they brought Tim Pool in, and this specifically has to do with me and the Proud Boys. Joe asked him why he removed the Proud Boys off of Twitter, and Jack Dorsey and Vijaya Gade, I think is how you pronounce her name. They said it was because we were on some FBI terrorism list. This was way after that got debunked. And he couldn't, they didn't have a proper response to it, because when they fought back and they said it was fake news, they went ahead and they didn't at the end of the day, they didn't correct that wrong. And I didn't get my account back for another almost 8 years. I still don't actually have my account back. I haven't been able to successfully get it back. I wish I could. I have a lot more followers than I do now. But Twitter's a different space right now. But Jack Dorsey's endorsement isn't something that you should like tout. You know, especially as a conservative. You know, if you were a liberal and you were pro whatever the fuck Jack Dorsey was pro, then you'd say, okay, well, whatever. Then you get the retard.
Jack Dorsey is just pro money, man. Like, he's not liberal or conservative. He's just a fucking scumbag who wants more money than everybody else should have. Like, I don't give a shit about Jack Dorsey. You know, as a liberal, I don't care about that guy, man. He's not one of not on my side as far as I'm concerned.
You know, which brings me to another controversial figure, and she's always been controversial. And I've said my thoughts on Candace Owens, but I don't know if have you come across the I don't care what the gag order is. I'm going to gag order.
Yeah.
So there's genuine questions. I wrote this the other day. There's genuine questions about Charlie Kirk's assassination and some things that don't align well, you know, for whatever reason there are. And there's genuine questions, and some people have genuine questions. There's some conspiracy theories out there that might not be so conspiratorial. But she doesn't help anybody.
No, she doesn't care.
By saying that she's going to violate a gag order that she is not on.
Yeah,
she's not on this gag order.
She's outrageously rich, married to an outrageously rich British aristocrat. And she knows damn well that no matter what happens, she's not going to be extradited to the United States to face charges of defamation or whatever the fuck. She can just sit there and say whatever she wants.
She's living in the UK now?
Yeah, she's living in the UK.
Yeah.
She's got she's got kids who are UK citizens. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. And so she's going to do whatever will make her the most amount of money, which is just to go viral and be crazy and say stupid shit. She doesn't believe any of this stuff. It doesn't matter if she believes any of this stuff. This is a joke. And if you're a right winger who supports her, you're being played. You're being played completely. You know, you're being played just like Laura Loomer plays you. She's playing you.
Look, listen, I don't think Laura Loomer is playing anybody.
I know you don't.
I think she
wrong.
genuinely believes what she's saying. Sometimes she's wrong, but most of the time she's right. But there's no, I don't think I don't watch Candace's stuff. I watch it in clips. But you could feel that, you could feel when somebody's genuine. Like if you tell Laura that she's doing this or that, like she will come at you like a spider monkey.
Yeah,
right?
I've had
because she genuinely believes, and I know that you have this story with her
She's given up on arguments with me on several occasions because she doesn't have any ammunition because she's what's called a fucking moron. But when it comes to Candace, like Candace is actually just playing a character. Yeah, I agree with you that Laura believes what she's saying. She just doesn't. She's not smart. She doesn't have enough ammunition to actually hold a reasonable argument. Candace is actually smart enough to hold a reasonable argument. She just doesn't want to because she doesn't have to, because she knows she can still make money by bullshitting, you know?
Yeah, she puts everything behind, like everything that she says is like super breaking, super. She puts it behind a paywall,
Yeah,
right?
it's clickbait. I
And
mean,
and here's the problem. What she does is she gets these obviously emotional issues, and she mixes some truth in there, because I have seen that she does have some valid points on certain things, but then she uses that as a crowbar to kind of bring people in and lock open, and then she gives you this bullshit thing. She's pretending that she's in this specific case, because I got a lot of shit from typing this specific case. She knows that she's not on the fucking list. You know, she knows that she doesn't have a gag order. She knows it can't be enforced because she's in another fucking country. So she's making herself out to be a martyr in this specific instance, and she's not a martyr.
Well, I mean, just this morning she tweeted that Barry was behind the Louvre robbery, and I was like, that's insane. How the fuck would Barry in Florida be robbing the Louvre? But that's what Candace had to say this morning, and I thought
Yeah.
that was fucked up.
You know, and they're like, "Oh well, you don't back her," and I'm like, "Look, it's not that I don't back her or not back her.
Right.
The problem is if I'm holding her to her standard, right? And her standard is the truth, right? But if you're not on a list, then just at least tell me, fuck, I'm not on a list. If I was on it, I'd break the gag order of the judge. You know, she doesn't do anybody help or anybody that's actually trying to get to the bottom of it. She's not helping anybody because she's constantly fucking sitting here and like contradicting what everybody's fucking saying. So
She's a clown, and it's clickbait bullshit. So I just I can't stand to listen to. I don't listen to it. I swim in right wing bullshit every day. I listen to just about every wacko that you could possibly understand, but I stay away from her because it's just disingenuous. I like to listen to people who actually believe the things they say, whether I vehemently disagree with them or not. But people who I think are bullshitting are, I'm not down with that, man. Like you can disagree with me, say what you want, but if you're full of shit completely, then I'm not, I can't waste my time on you because that's just nonsense. And Candace is one of those people, as opposed to, someone like, Ben Shapiro, who she used to work for. You and I may disagree with Ben Shapiro on everything, and a
Pretty
lot of
much.
things. Yeah. But I believe Ben Shapiro really believes what he's saying. And so I'll listen, and he's got a big audience. So I'll listen. Guy like Joe Rogan, I really believe he believes what he's saying. I don't agree with a lot of it. Alex Jones, perfect example. I've been listening to Alex for 20 years, right? He's hung up the phone on me like a dozen times, right? Can't stand me, right? But I actually respect what he
I
does.
figured it out.
I really believe. I
figured it
understand.
out.
He believes what he's saying. So
You're a closeted right wing Catholic nationalist.
No, definitely. not.
I think that you're a
not the first
closeted.
person to say that.
You're listening to Alex Jones. You read the Bible daily.
Yes.
You can quote Mark. You can quote. I'm sure a whole bunch of other books in the Bible, and then you pretend to be. You come around here and you parade to be a left winger, and pretend to be a liberal.
So that I can
It
be
just
completely unpopular
it
and
doesn't
make no money
compute.
doing it. Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense that I would do that to myself.
Because it's not about. It's like you're like me. It's not about money, right? It's not about money
Well,
here.
it's certainly not about that, but it's also obviously not about popularity because you can see that I have less than 500 followers on fucking Twitter, right? So I mean, like nobody gives a shit about what I'm saying. Um, it's not a thing. I really believe what I actually say I believe, you know. But I've always liked people like Alex who are the rebels who say things that are unpopular, even if they're not the things that I think, because that's like I've said on a lot of podcasts. I don't know if I've said it on this, but my favorite movie when I was a kid was Pump Up the Volume. Like, pirate radio, saying what you want, whether it's popular or not, fucking with the establishment. I always liked the fact that Alex did that, you know.
Yeah.
So that was why I got into right wing radio, and yeah, I mean my
Do you
political
listen to left
opinions
wing
don't.
radio? Or
No, it's
not that
boring.
there's much.
No, there isn't any. But I mean, what exists is really fucking boring. I mean, I'll listen to like David Packman, um, you know,
I was
occasionally.
with you know who I met, speaking of left wing radio hosts. I had an argument, like a civil, somewhat civil argument with like this gentleman that was at the Miami protest, and he ends up being Grant Stern. I don't know if you've ever heard of Grant
Yeah,
Stern.
yeah, yeah.
So I end up arguing with Grant Stern, and what's funny about it is, he DMs me on Twitter because I told him, like, I said, look, we're not gonna have a giant like uh conversation about this at a rally. Why don't you call me and either I have you on the show or you have me on whatever podcast you have? Because I didn't know who the fuck he was.
Right.
And he says yes. So he messages me on Monday, and he's like, he sends me his phone number, and he says Signal, and I really don't like using Signal. I really don't use it at all, as a matter of fact.
I don't even have it.
Um, so and like basically his shtick was, he doesn't want people knowing that I'm talking to him.
It's so stupid.
I'm like, just bring me on the fucking show. Like it's
Yeah.
so easy if you're so like if you're so like dead set on your views and you think
If you're
they're correct,
secure in your shit, it shouldn't be a
it
threatening
shouldn't
thing.
be a threatening thing to have me
Yeah.
on. And another I'm not like a screaming fucking Republican that's, calling you fucking names most of the time.
Sure.
And if I'm on radio, I know how to act. I know you can't cuss because of
Yeah, yeah.
FEC
Oh, you're
rules.
housebroken, man. You're not an
Yeah,
animal. You know
you
what?
know.
Somebody just posted Rush Limbaugh and just that's all uh Jay Gallon 707 said was Rush Limbaugh. But check this out, right? So this kind of shit runs in my family. Only I guess it's only me and my grandmother. My grandmother, who was kind of the matriarch of our family, she was like the first on this side of the family to come to America back in the 40s. Um, I loved her to death, and she she used to listen to Rush Limbaugh. She was a Democratic Party, like a staunch Democrat, but also a strict Catholic. And back in the 90s, she would listen to Rush Limbaugh on the radio every single day. So when I was home in the summer from school, we'd have the windows open, she'd have the radio on, and me and my friends would be outside in our backyard playing wiffle ball or playing football or whatever we were doing. And I would hear her laugh. She had one of those laughs that would go down the street, like everybody
Yeah.
in the neighborhood heard her laugh. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, it was better than that, but okay. So she would laugh constantly and she would listen to Rush. And she was a liberal. And nobody could understand why she enjoyed listening to Rush Limbaugh so much. And as a kid, I didn't either. But when I got older and I started listening to Rush and listening to right wing radio and paying attention to right wing television, I realized I was just like her. I wanted to hear it because I wanted to know what the other side was saying about us. And sometimes I found it really funny. And I was like, man, I had more in common with her than I even thought I did, you know?
Yeah.
And it was it was the thing that we both had. So a lot of people ask me, why the hell do you waste your time bullshitting around with Enrique Tarrio or fucking listening to right wing, nonsense? And I'm like, well, I guess I'm just like my grandmother, It's just the way it is, you know. Well, which Bill Cutting would call, you know, a worthless Mick who
Yeah.
came over and had 7 kids, who had a whole bunch of other kids who were all very successful in this country. So, you know, whatever.
Um, Rush Limbaugh was very, very uh, smart, entertaining, which is important in his business. You know, like you're writing down, you know, you're going to work, you want some entertainment. So he would
He's the
bring in
greatest radio
entertainment.
host in radio history, in
I
American
think
radio
so.
history. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think
I
so.
don't think that's even a debatable topic.
But like, and going back to this Candace thing, I'm just going to close with this because we're at the hour. I also want to mention something that's on the screen right now. Candace, there is genuine questions of Charlie Kirk's assassination, and that's she's not helping anybody by lying about things. If she truly cared about Charlie, she'd go on with her investigation, but she wouldn't exaggerate to this point and do the opposite. You know, now people don't want to look at like these questions because Candace is saying things like this. I don't think that she should be deplatformed for it. I don't agree with them suing the president, the fucking French prime. Is it prime minister or president?
It's the prime minister, I think.
Prime Minister of France and his wife suing her. I don't think that that's correct. I think it's improper, which is weird. She lives in the UK. She gets sued by the French, but it's in a United States courtroom.
Well, they're suing her.
They're
Not
suing
the-
her. Yeah,
they're
I
suing
know.
her. Yeah.
They're suing her, but it's such a weird. So last thing here I want to say, England sending great love to Enrique and Patrick, Ireland's lost soul. I recently came from the UK, specifically England. I was trying to get everywhere else, but I had limited time. Such a beautiful country, such beautiful people, great people.
Bad teeth.
Bad teeth, but great pubs.
Yeah.
Right.
Most of the
I think
women
I
in
spent
England-
most of my time. Actually, to be honest with you, I spent almost my entire time in England at pubs.
Yeah.
Right. Which is, you know, obviously bar hopping here is a thing, but nowhere close to what it is in England. You know,
Most of the
first-
women in England have mouths that look like a historical cemetery.
Well, some of them are
You know,
actually have great mouths. Yeah, very
Okay.
pretty.
It's just it's
But-
you know, this way and that way and the other and
Whatever.
You know, they look. It looks like their tongues are in jail.
But you Brits do have a beautiful country. I'm happy that you guys are fighting for it. There's a lot of, I mean, it's pretty uphill. I know that you guys will be successful. Great praise to my boy Tommy. He wasn't in the country. He was outside of the country. He's currently in Israel right now, giving a speech. I know a lot of people aren't happy with him about it, but you know what? He's my brother. I support him through and through. He's a great patriot, and I know you guys. I was interviewed by Liam Tufts, which should be coming out in the next couple weeks. Great time with Liam, amazing patriot there that Liam has. So I really appreciate you guys over there across the pond. I will be traveling over there soon again, and I just recently got an invite to Moscow. So I'm looking forward to some of those trips. But yeah, Patty, any last words for the firing squad?
I would just like to thank the 836, I guess, viewers we have right now. I guess we don't get as many unless we have Kim. Is that the thing?
I think so. I think we need to diversify a little bit.
We get Kim. We get a whole lot of people in here. The other guy, I don't know, doesn't do so much, but you know, maybe Barry will show up and reduce the number as he often does. But no, it's thanks for everybody hanging out and bullshitting around with us for the last hour. We sure do appreciate it. My show actually will be on tonight, 7:00. I'm going to have to record that in a couple hours, and we're going to talk tonight. I got a little rundown right here. We're going to talk about the No King stuff. I'm going to show some photos and video. And we're going to talk about Tommy Tuberville deciding who should be the mayor of New York City. Tommy Tuberville being
That's right.
a senator from Alabama decides he gets to tell what people in New York should think, which is awesome because I'm sure people in Alabama would love to have people in New York telling them what they should think. So we're going to talk about that kind of fucking nonsense tonight at 7:00. So tune in, be there, be square.
Patty, last question. Yes or no? Do you think that there's going to be a surprise in the New York City mayoral race?
No.
Okay. All right. So as far as I go, I will be actually recording 2 new episodes of the MBLE podcast with some very interesting guests. And we should have that out. Like I said, my interview with Liam Tuff should hit the airwaves next week. And we will have one more episode this week of the NewsBrief. So go ahead and click the post notifications on my account, on Patty's account, and also on the Warboys Studios. Thank you guys for joining us. And that concludes today's NewsBrief.
Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Peter said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
An FBI agent arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now.